What's up again, YouTube? This is the last one of the top 5 new decks for Dominaria United. We're coming in strong with probably a real contender for maybe the best deck on the ladder following the new set. And surprise, surprise, it's a Rakdos deck. Probably if you've been playing a lot of Standard or you remember the last Standard, you know that one of the decks that was pretty strong was the Unofficial Anvil style deck. Probably not the top of the ladder because you had like the Naya Human stuff and some runes and stuff like that that were a little bit better than it. But those have mostly cycled out, rotated out, they're gone. So I'm predicting that Rakdos is going to move up to the #1 slot and be back to its annoying shenanigans again. Sacking things, pinging opponents, gaining some life, just up to its normal shenanigans. So, yeah, this is the new version that I built. It includes the Raven Man. It includes braids. I even threw in a Liliana of the Veil. Not sure if she really fits in the deck. I mean, she has a lot of synergies with the deck. Don't get me wrong. But it might be better to just have another removal spell like Voltage Surge, something like that. Who knows? You'll have to try it out and see. But it's a new card. You gotta try it out. You gotta have some fun. So yeah, I've included it in there. I'm actually surprised how few decks I really want to add Liliana. I feel like I want to have 1 or 2 copies, and then I build the deck, and she just doesn't always seem to fit that well. I mean, I know she's like a kind of like a pseudo removal spell with some potential upside, but I think there's just so many new kind of strong synergistic cards that she's just not quite the right fit a lot of times. Plus she's 3 mana. There's so many 3 mana cards. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe she'll be way better than expectations and we'll just switch something out and have her as like a 3-up or whatever. But for now, just got the 1 in there. But anyway, let's take a look at the deck because it's got a few differences from the Rakdos you probably know already. We've got the staples, of course, with the Blood Type Harvester, with the Voldaren Epicure. We've got stuff like the Unofficial Anvil, of course. That's part of the main thing. Voltage Surge, just solid removal that uses our blood tokens. I included Soul Transfer as well. We don't see this in the normal one, but I went ahead and included it because we've got enchantments, we've got artifacts, and we got things we want to get back from the graveyard if they die, so it just kind of makes sense to put it in there. I'm not sure why people don't run it now, to be honest. But yeah, anyway, I've put it in there. And yeah, let's take a look at the rest. So we've got the Raven Man. Raven Man is 2 mana, 2/1. At the beginning of each end step, if a player discarded a card this turn, create a 1/1 bird creature token with flying, and this creature can't block. So the birds can't block, but they're flying, and so you can attack into your opponent, do some damage. If they die from the Meat Hook Massacre or whatever, they're going to ping the opponent, so that's solid. And of course, you can sacrifice the birds, as we'll see in a second. For some really good value. So yeah, just solid there. Late game you can even activate him for mana to make the opponent discard, so pretty solid there as well. And yeah, so how do we get this to trigger, right? How do we get the Raven Man to trigger? We got Virus Beetle, so this is the only discard creature we got in the deck. 2 mana, 1/1 artifact, which is important. Artifact that makes the opponent discard a card. So it enters the battlefield, they discard. And then it's an artifact, so we can sack it to Unofficial Anvil, or we can sack it to, we got this guy here, Dockside Chef, which can sacrifice an artifact or a creature. And if he sacrifices it, you'll draw a card, and the anvil will trigger as well. So kind of double value out of there. You could even sacrifice it to the Voltage Surge to get your 4 damage. So that's another synergy there. I've included this one, Voldaren Bloodcaster. This was in the early Onical Anvil decks before, but I think it's more relevant in this one because I've included braids as well. So, but yeah, just going back to what we were talking about, sacrifice the artifact creature, you get your blood tokens, and you get your trigger from your anvil, and you get your ping from your meat hook massacre. So you're getting tons of these values from killing your own creatures, making all these artifacts, etc. Which and yeah, all that kind of stuff. You already made them discard, so you get your Raven Man trigger as well. So just so many little synergies, getting little advantages, little pings, little just little benefits all over the place in this deck. Alright, and then the other ways to trigger the Raven Man are going to be this one, the Fable of the Mirror Breaker. We already know, everyone who knows it's a solid card, you get kind of a 2-for-1 no matter what from this card. And then in the middle step you have the discard effect, which was normally just kind of a so-so thing. It kind of fixes your draws a little bit. But now with the Raven Man, not only does it fix your draws, but you also get a bird out of it. So just another upside, another benefit of that, making it even more solid card, even better. So really, really good there. The last way we can trigger the Raven Man is with all the blood token that we generate. So you get blood token from here, you get blood token from here, you can get blood token from here. So all those blood tokens, if you just crack one, you're going to get a free bird. So sometimes on your turn you might crack one, get a bird, get an Only Cold Tramp trigger, maybe get a Meat Hook Massacre trigger. Bada bing, bada boom. Tons of value from just cycling one of your cards. So really sweet. It really looks good. Yeah, but it doesn't stop there because we got this new card in the set, Braids Arisen Nightmare. 3 mana. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice a artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker, and if you do, the opponent may sacrifice a permanent that shares the same type with it, and if they don't, they lose 2 life and you draw a card. So the hope, the ideal, is that you are going to be sacrificing these blood tokens with your braid, getting your Onical Anvil triggers. Yeah, because it just says during your turn. It doesn't say it has to be at the end of your turn or anything like that. So at your end step, sacrifice a blood token. You get your Onical Anvil trigger. You get your Meat Hook Massacre triggers, and you potentially do 2 damage to the opponent and draw a card, stuff like that, because they're most likely not going to have artifacts. So yeah, you get so much value out of just sacrificing these artifacts or activating your blood tokens or stuff like that. So pretty sweet. Looks, I mean, it was already good before. It just looks like it's getting better and better with the addition of these 2 new cards in it. And then the land is good. It's one of the few decks so far that have like pretty solid land, because you got the Pain lands here in Rakdos colors, and it's an aggro deck, so you might as well put in some Thran portals as well, just so you can have good mana. Make sure you always get your 1-drops down. So yeah, I mean, it looks pretty solid. It looks like it's going to be probably the contender, the deck to beat, but it still looks pretty fun to play, if I'm being honest. I'm not even a big Rakdos person. I'm more of a Grixis control person. Play Dimir, play Esper, play Grixis, those kind of things. But I'm going to try it out. I'm going to have some fun with braids, sacrificing things. At least until it gets annoying again and gets to be the #1 deck, and then maybe I'll switch to something else. But yeah, that's it. That's the top deck. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe if you liked this series. Did I miss something? Is there some other deck you think is going to be just the bomb.com, the best thing ever? Let me know in the comments. Let me know on Twitter. And yeah, and I'll probably post some of the honorable mentions on Twitter as well after this one. Maybe make a video about all the honorable mentions at once. Because there's a lot of new, like I said, a lot of new archetypes, a lot of new decks, a lot of new things. I didn't even cover Historic or Alchemy or any of those yet, so Explorer or whatever. There's so many other decks that are going to come out of the set for sure. So Yeah, don't forget to subscribe to see more of these kinds of videos, and until next time, see ya.